culture facilitate change in an organization? Well, I'm about to break down both culture and change into its building blocks, as well as share a few very specific beliefs and behaviors that can nurture change in an organization. You want to hear it? Let's get it. Peter Drucker first coined the phrase that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And the Greek philosopher Heraclitus was the first to say that the only constant in life is change. So if we can assume both are true and your culture is all filled up with your strategy, how does it then help to facilitate change moving forward? In this video, I'm going to first deconstruct culture so that you can understand what it's really comprised of. Next, I'll deconstruct change. Then I'll walk you through a few specific beliefs and behaviors that a culture which facilitates change might hold. So if we think about what culture is, it's really the byproduct. It's the byproduct of a critical mass of individuals in an organization doing consistent actions, behaviors, or expressing similar words. Now, if we drill that down even further, it's the beliefs that those individuals hold on to which make those actions, those words, and those behaviors made manifest. So again, culture, deconstructed, is the actions or the behaviors of a critical mass of individuals in the organization. And then a level lower, it's the beliefs that those individuals hold. So as you think about the dynamics of culture, the two important levers that you need to think about if you want to create a change, it's around the actions or the behaviors that are consistent throughout the organization, and then the beliefs that drive those actions or behaviors. Okay, so now let's deconstruct change. And this is probably going to be far simpler. Change is simply one thing changing to something else. And that can even look like it changing to a larger, more efficient version of itself. Now, of course, that's synonymous with growth. I often say that you cannot have growth without change. It's right there in the definition, something becoming something else. As it relates to greater levels of efficiency, effectiveness, higher revenue, greater profit, that's one form of a business changing into a different version of itself. And again, that's growth or that's change. So change can really look like anything in an organization. New employees, employees are trading out, new innovation, new leadership, a market disruption. Change is everywhere across business and in turn within organizations. So now that I've deconstructed both culture and change into its comprising parts, I actually want to share with you 5 driving beliefs that a culture which nurtures or facilitates change might embody. The first of these core driving beliefs that individuals within this culture will hold is that change presents opportunity for both personal and professional growth. The second being that I have power to control how I experience change, or I'm in power to control how I experience change, how I show up, how I lead, and how I navigate through change. The third driving belief is that I feel safe or I am safe to share my truest emotions to my leaders, my teams, and my peers. That includes even those more difficult emotions like frustration or anger. I am safe to do so. The fourth belief is that the success of this business enables my own personal growth and success. Now, the fifth of these core driving beliefs that those who are in a culture that helps to facilitate change would embody is that mistakes or failure will help accelerate learning to help me moving forward in the future. I have the best handwriting of probably anyone that you've ever met. But again, the fifth of those driving beliefs is that failure or mistakes invite learning. Now, this belief is really what's going to nurture that really big learning culture, that learning environment, where they're always looking for opportunity to grow and to learn and to become better. By the way, if you're digging this content, be sure to like, subscribe, even click that notification bell. I make videos like this all the time, always striving to deliver value-added content to you. So make sure you hit one of these things, these buttons, so that you're one of the first to get notified when a new video drops. Cool? All right, let's get back into it. Now let's talk about the actions that are then made manifest with the driving beliefs of the type of culture that really can facilitate change. And I just want to share with you just 5 examples of behaviors that I've seen in those really agile, highly resilient cultures. The first behavior being that in the face of a competitive threat, the organization moves quickly to understand and execute the necessary changes to combat that threat. The second behavior being that when results are off track or miss the mark, the organization comes together to understand quickly what happened, what drove the results to be off track, understanding what needs to happen to get back on track, and executing that very quickly. The third behavior being that when the organization might be going through restructure, the individuals in that organization will strive to understand why the changes are necessary, and then subsequently what's required of them to ensure the change is successful. The fourth behavior of a highly agile and resilient organization is proactively looking to innovate your products and your services in a way that consistently delights the end user, client, or customer. If you dug this content, I've got something else for you, something for free. So my company, Change Enthusiasm Global, partnered with a leading research institute, CGK, and we studied the effect of change and emotion in the workplace. What emotions are being nurtured or negated in the workplace, then how is that affecting the overall resistance in the organization, and some strategies to help combat or mitigate that resistance. Well, I want to share with you the latest research, the white paper, and what we found. And it's really comprising the things that probably your employees are thinking and just not telling you. So all you got to do is click below and we'll get that research paper to you right now. Just click the link. I want to make sure you have the actions, insights, and data to ensure you're able to grow through even your greatest change challenges. I'm Cassandra Worthy, by the way, and until we meet again, keep growing and keep rocking.